crew members that are here dressed in uniform, please stand up and be recognized. All right. Thank you, crew members. Yeah.
I have a question for Aaron. Being tardy means you get picked on first. In the podcast for Crossroads Part 2, Ron Moore said that you were really upset when you found out you were a Cylon. How did you feel?
I got drunk. Ron Moore told me, actually, we started shooting that in December. We shot that episode. And they officially told us the day of the read-through, which is the day before we start shooting. I saw a piece of paper at Michael Reimer's house back in September that I wasn't supposed to see. So it was outlines for upcoming episodes. So I'm flipping through these papers and I went, ooh, episode 19 and 20. I'm like, look, read, bullshit. My line, Tyrrell. There it is. Tyrrell's a Cylon. Ran off to the bathroom and I was reading all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God! Knocking on the door. You got a toilet paper? You okay in there? And then I had to keep my mouth shut for 4 months. I couldn't say a word because Reimer's like, you're not supposed to see that. Okay, well then I wouldn't say anything. And I would go to Ron and David and say, so anything coming up for the chief? Anything at all? And they go, no, why? Just, normal stuff. Hires. And so I had to shut up for 4 months. And then finally they told me, and I called Ron right away, get him off the phone and get him on with me. And he talked to me for like an hour and a half, and by the end of it, the writers have always done extraordinary things for 3 years. Why would it suddenly change? There's a method to their madness, so I went along. Cool.
So your name is, were the rest of us on that? Were the rest of us on?
Boy, your microphone sucks. Yeah, you know what? It was. Everybody was on the list. But if I'm remembering correctly, somebody... It wasn't us four. There was 3 of us, and then one of us was switched because they were still guessing as to who they wanted to make the final 5. Yeah. Yes, we know his mic doesn't work. Thank you.
That's deliberate.
Question over here.
My question is for Eddie. I really enjoyed seeing the development of the relationship between Adama and Roslyn during the course of the series, and especially the last season. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the evolution of that relationship from I don't like this woman to putting the wedding ring on her finger improv.
What more can be said other than I think the writing on this show has given us what we're all talking about. A great thank you should be given to every single person that has been writing for this show. And it's been a remarkable journey. And I've done a lot of work in my lifetime, and most of the work that I've done has been stuff that is very entertaining, what I consider to be entertaining, but at the same time has social relevance to it that the people actually go home thinking about something after they experience it. But nothing of this caliber. This has been best. So when Laura and I were pinned against each other at the beginning, I was so grateful that they chose that way to start. And it carried on for a long time, as you remember. And it was a deadly rivalry at the very beginning because of the whole understanding that we were in a war, especially between Ty and myself against her. We really didn't like her at all. And we thought it was something that was just completely, in story form, was a very, very difficult situation to try to deal with. And yet we tried and we sustained, but man, the way they twisted it, and it took a long time. People were wanting this after the first year. They wanted us to come together, and they wouldn't do that. They didn't. And so by the time, in my own improvisational way, pinned my ring on her, it was a long long time coming, and it was really a great feeling of joy between Mary and myself. And I think you're going to really appreciate the remainder of the fourth season, which has now become the fifth season. And of course, they didn't pay us for 5 seasons; they only paid us for 4 seasons. So you can see where they're coming from, and which I never let them forget. But yes, the question is, what did I feel about it? I thought it was fantastic. I thought that the art was just extraordinary, and I think that's what really made people appreciate this storytelling that we've been doing over the last 5 years. So again, thank you for the question. I love that woman, on and off camera. She's a great lady.
Any other follow-up to that question? This is just between the 2 of us and the 2,400 of them. What really happened between Bill and Laura on New Caprica?
That comes out in the second movie that we'll be making for sci-fi. We're making the first one right now. We actually finished the season, and we're starting our first motion picture that'll go straight to DVD. They will be playing, I guess, a portion of it on regular television, but the real version of it will be on DVD, and it's being made for DVD. And but the second movie that we make will actually be the story of what happened on Caprica and how Adama got laid.
That is the A story, and the B story in that will be what really happened. Numbers tick high.
Yes, I was just wondering, the show is often really serious. I was wondering what kind of pranks and hijinks might go on behind the scenes when the cameras aren't rolling.
Don't even ask, man. That's unfair. That's like asking for the inside story of what's going on. There is times, I gotta tell you, in the worst case scenarios, when we're supposed to be in our most dramatic state, where, I mean, literally, Mary has given up. I mean, she just says, I can't stand you guys. I hate you guys. And she starts screaming at us and just walks off with such hatred. Or Grace, or somebody who's right in the middle of their big scene, and it's about, really emotional stress, and the rest of us can't hold it together. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Especially if we get Mary laughing, right?
Oh, you get Mary laughing, and it's 3 hours of waiting.
Yeah. A take that should be done in 45 minutes is going to be 3 hours because she will not be able to stop.
She can't stop.
And so we end up laughing at her, and then everyone's laughing, and it's just the actors too. So you've got the director and producers and everyone going, what are these idiots giggling about? They won't stop. Who's going, can we go, please? We want to go home.
James, of all the bad things Gaius Baltar has done, what does he regret the most?
How long have you got? What does he regret the most? I suppose I was saying to Ron that there was this device that we used that I thought was so cool about him going back to the house, always in his mind. He goes back to that house that he shared. And I was like, that's, on some level, it's like a psychotic episode. You keep on going back to that moment in time. It's not just the house, it's the moment when you found out just how idiotic and narcissistic you've been. There was a point, actually, I remember in the mini-series, where when Gaius is watching the television, and everybody's blowing up and everything, it was just, what did it say? Well, there were no lines. I remember it was something about, Gaius is watching the television, it all goes blank. And I remember thinking at the time, saying this thing, going, what have I done? What have I done? And then I got a phone call from David Icke saying, thank you very much for saying that, because it actually put some groundwork in for you to feel guilty and obliterated in your soul about the repercussions of the thing that you've done. So on the level of giving military secrets away to your girlfriend because she's actually cleverer than you and she's writing the logarithms, I would say that is the thing that he regrets the most.